Coming up, Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell addresses health concerns on the Senate floor.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Senators returned to Washington today after a 40-day break and following a second public freezing episode by Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. Last week, Leader McConnell lost his ability to talk during a news conference in northern Kentucky. It was the second time in as many months that it happened in front of the cameras. Today, Senator McConnell addressed his health on the Senate floor. WYMT's Washington News Bureau reporter Josh Roltenberg has more.
The Senate reconvened Tuesday with Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell talking about his time back home and his health.
Now, one particular moment of my time back home has received its fair share of attention in the press over the past week. But I assure you, August was a busy and productive month for me and my staff back in the Commonwealth.
Last week, Leader McConnell was asked about running for re-election in 2026. He started to answer the question, then this happened.
That's it.
McConnell freezing up was eerily similar to when he abruptly stopped speaking during a weekly news conference in July.
And a string of
In both instances, McConnell's office said he felt, quote, lightheaded. However, it has not stopped others from speculating there could be something more seriously wrong with the senator. In a letter to McConnell Tuesday, the Capitol Hill attending physician says, after several medical evaluations, quote, there is no evidence that you have a seizure disorder or that you have experienced a stroke, TIA, or movement disorder such as Parkinson's disease. There are no changes recommended in treatment protocols as you continue recovery from your March 2023 fall. Senate Democrats like Majority Whip Dick Durbin welcomed back McConnell Tuesday with a joke.
I told him it was great to see him back, and I couldn't wait to disagree with him. And I'm sure I'll have that opportunity in the near future.
There is plenty of work for the Senate to do, including, as McConnell put it, quote, keeping the lights on. The federal government is set to shut down at the end of the month if a bipartisan deal cannot be reached. In Washington, I'm Josh Roltenberg.
The weather is mild and muggy across the mountains as we close out your Tuesday. Watching out, though, for some rain chances to return as early as tomorrow as our next weather system is not too far away. Here's a look at the radar right now. A few spotty showers possible near the Kentucky and Tennessee border. Most of us, though, are dry, also cloudy at this hour. But as we zoom out, high pressure on the way out. And as we look off to the west, a cold front producing some severe weather over Oklahoma, also Missouri, that will continue pushing off to the east into our direction. The severe weather threat very, very low, but some showers and storms are possible on Wednesday across our region. Check out these temperatures. It is after 11 o'clock and we are still in the middle to upper 70s. 78 for Pikeville, 77 in Jackson, 76 over in London. So we are mild and muggy, and that will continue into tonight. Lows fall into the upper 60s and lower 70s as you wake up on Wednesday. Watching out for possibly a stray shower, but higher rain chances on the way on your Wednesday, especially during the afternoon and the evening hours. But as you wake up and walk out the door on Wednesday, temperatures in the upper 60s and lower 70s, and we're back in the middle to upper 80s by tomorrow afternoon. That full forecast on the way in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thank you. The woman accused of killing her 17-month-old toddler was arraigned in Bell County Circuit Court this morning. Bell County Commonwealth's attorney Lisa Fugit posted to her personal Facebook page that she will seek the death penalty against Erica Lawson for her alleged role in killing the toddler. Lawson was indicted on multiple charges last month. Laurel County Sheriff's deputies say a woman was found safe after she went missing Sunday. 37-year-old Janice Middleton was last seen off Sunray Drive near London. The canine search teams were sent to the area and they were able to find a scent trail. 12 rescue units searched the area. Officials say a family member found Middleton in a field. She was taken to CHI St. Joseph Health. We are looking at the latest unemployment numbers in Kentucky. According to the August 2023 employment report by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, there was an increase of 187,000 jobs in August, but the unemployment rate slightly rose. Experts with the Kentucky Retail Federation say employers are not seeing as many applicants as they did in the past.
It's kind of been, in the last year to three that it's been, a lot of openings. We've heard people say whenever I had an opening, 5 years ago, I would have 25, 30 people apply for the job. Now, I may get, they may get 5.
And according to the Kentucky Center for Statistics, from July of 2022 to July of this year, unemployment rates rose in 98 counties and fell in 17. We continue to track COVID-19 in the Commonwealth. It turns out the COVID vaccine is effective against the new variant BA.2.86. It first popped up in the United States last month. 2 teams of scientists found that our immune systems are able to recognize and fight off the variant.
The newest variant has changes. The spike proteins, and genetically, it's a little different. So because it's different, our immune systems don't recognize it as well, or the concern is we won't recognize it, and it'll create more infections, worse disease.
The FDA says the new COVID booster will likely be available sometime this month. September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and a report by the CDC says in 2021, an estimated 12.3 million adults seriously thought about suicide, 3.5 million made a plan, and 1.7 million attempted suicide. One group that has a high rate of suicide is veterans, and Dr. Rachel Hempel-Rudy, a licensed psychologist for suicide prevention, says they want veterans to know that it is okay to ask for help.
Having thoughts of suicide does not make you crazy, does not mean that anything is wrong with you. I think a lot of people worry, I'm having these thoughts, they're really scary, I don't want to be having them. They worry, am I crazy? What's going to happen next? I think we all have these sometimes really scary perceptions of what this means for me, what does this mean for my family.
Hempel-Rudy says she wants every person and veteran to know that help is out there and there are treatments proven to help. If you or a loved one is struggling from thoughts of suicide, you can call 988 for help. Leslie Countyans are looking to expand a mural representing community heroes. The mural includes symbols representing the Osborne brothers, Tim Couch, and Mary Breckenridge through a fluorescent design. Joel Brashear with Hyden Citizens Bank says they are still working to figure out what will be painted next.
The ladies from Pink Mural are going to come down in the spring and finish the entire thing. We've not nailed down a specific topic that we're going to do. We've talked about industry in Leslie County, things like healthcare, coal mining, timber, education, just some of the things that really make Leslie County special.
The mural is among other paintings in Hyden, including a Vincent van Gogh tribute. It is located behind Hyden Citizens Bank and Hyden City Hall. Officials say blood donations are needed across the country. A 21-year-old woman was in need of blood transfusions after she was involved in a car crash that killed her friend in Jessamine County. Megan Passanage and her friend Aubrey Howard were sitting in the back of a car when deputies say the driver of that car lost control and hit a tree. Howard was just 15 years old when she died in the crash. After suffering several injuries, Passanage needed blood.
I accepted blood after the accident. My blood levels were really weird.
Now a senior at the University of Kentucky, she says in the past she was not a blood donor, but her traumatic experience has changed her views on helping others. A rare sight on Cave Run Lake this Labor Day. Boaters spotted a flamingo in Kentucky yesterday. Yes, a flamingo. Jeremy Toms talked with a woman who saw the bird with her own eyes and wildlife experts about how the bird ended up so far out of its natural habitat.
Amanda Frazier says she and her family decided to enjoy their Labor Day by getting out on Cave Run Lake.
We live probably a 20-minute drive from the boat dock, and we had actually just last minute decided to go.
Frazier says they were driving their kids around in a tube when something caught her husband's eye.
And my husband looked over and he said, "Look at that flamingo." And we both started laughing because we thought someone had brought like a plastic one and pushed it down in the sand.
But soon enough, that plastic pink bird started to move.
He was just walking around freely, letting people come up to him and video him and take a picture. And
James Brunger with Kentucky Fish and Wildlife says it was likely one of several swept north from the Yucatan Peninsula by Hurricane Idalia.
If you're in the eye of the hurricane, a lot of times you can hear tons and tons of birds overhead, and it's just they find a safe spot that's out of the wind and stuff, and the storm just kind of carries them.
Brunger says this particular storm caused flamingos to flock into 9 different U.S. states, adding that it's the first ever recorded sighting of the flamboyant bird in Kentucky.
after we figured out what was going on, why he, may have showed up there, we were saddened because he was away from home and by himself.
But Brunger says no one spotted it on Tuesday, so he thinks its cameo in the Commonwealth is over, and it's likely starting a very long journey back home.
They came in good condition. They get a little bit of supplemental food here and there, and they've got enough energy to get home.
Jeremy Toms, WYMT Mountain News.
Brunger says the bird's diet will have looked much different than what it would get in the tropics, but its bright coloration indicates it is still in good health as it migrates back to a more normal habitat. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, a former Proud Boys leader learned his sentence today, and it's a hefty one, for his role in the January 6th assault on the Capitol.
And most of us are dry tonight, but you may need the umbrella by tomorrow. Those details coming up after this break.